Hello and welcome to Creative Crafting by Katie. I'm going to do a gnome project for you. This is an Easter gnome napkin that I do sell in my napkin pack. It's got a link in the description if you're interested. A small 15-inch millimeter half round bead. A small purple pink flower. That can be anything of your choice. White chalk paint, Mod Podge, diamond dust, some classic caramel paint for the nose, and then this Dollar Tree surface board here. I'm going to take these flowers off of here, and that did not come out very well. We might have to scrape at it a little bit because there's some glue in here, and I don't care if the backing comes off. That's actually probably better because we're going to have to paint this surface in order to be able to Mod Podge our napkin on here. So I'm going to go in here now that I've got that removed. I'm going to leave this little hanger. It's got this little thing here, or it can be a shelf sitter, okay? Lots of different options for you. I'm going to paint this in its entirety. The purple and all, it's all going to get painted white. Now I'm going to do this real quick here. It's going to need a couple coats on the base for sure. We're going to have to get all of this done in here and cover up this purple. Would be nice if it was already painted the color we wanted, but that hardly ever happens. So we're just going to hit these sides up first. Make sure you get into the corners because you don't want that peeking out, because the napkin's only going to cover so far. So you want to get into all those little corners where the purple is. And then we'll come on and do these outside edges. Chalk paint will adhere and give you a better coverage. That's why I chose to go with chalk paint. Just be a little careful around that. And over here. I'm going to leave all this here so I don't have to worry about anything. Dry it up. Best to dry it in between coats so that it will adhere best. Oh, I forgot to show you this little part of a rag from the Dollar Tree. Those ones that you would find in the car department so you could clean off your car with. I'm most concerned about this area right here. Making sure that that's good and dry. Because if it's not going to adhere well, okay? Again, come in here with my chalk paint. This is where you're going to want to pay the most attention. If a little of the purple peeks out on the frame itself, it's not going to matter because it's all Eastery colors, right? But we're still going to come in here and give it a second coat. I'm going to do the outside edge where my hands are sitting right now. I'm going to do that area all after I Mod Podge on here. That's going to allow this to dry really nice and do a good coat. Okay. Dry it up. Now, if you had a board that didn't have this surface to it, you wouldn't have to do that. If you wanted to take the time to peel that off, then you wouldn't have to do as many coats on here. And I'm going to do another quick what's on my brush coat because I need just a little bit more to cover up the remainder of it. Just a tad more. I don't want that peeking through. See how I'm just kind of brushing on what I've got left on my brush. And that's going to be a great last or third and final coat for this, okay? We can come back and do those outside edges after. Let's get this dried up. We'll take this napkin, which is really nice about this is it's got 4 projects you can do on it. It's all the same, but at least it's 4 projects. Or if you kind of mess up, then you've got yourself some extras just in case you were to make a mistake. All right, now I'm going to cut this square out. Just one of the 4. I've already taken and peeled back the 2-ply, the 2 white part of these, and then I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to cut it down. Now you can do a couple different things. You can put the napkin in its entirety in here. Okay, or you can cut it down. I'm going to trim the bottom just a little bit, just so that it comes right up to the beard area. But if you wanted to cut this thing down, you could take like some water and get it cut down a little bit. And you could tear it off by putting some water on here. Another way you could also line it up is like this. This will give you a pretty good idea of what the surface itself is going to be like. So my napkin should fit pretty decently in here now, okay? And it doesn't matter if it goes up the sides or not. It'll be perfectly fine if it goes up the sides. All right, now we're going to take our Mod Podge, and we're going to Mod Podge the base of this. It doesn't have to be a thick coat. We just want to make it tacky and enough for it to stick on. Okay, like so. And we're going to take this, and this is the reason why we want it white, is so we can see our napkin nice and good. And we're going to stick our little guy in here. Don't worry about wrinkles or nothing. Let it go up the edge a little bit. It'll all look super cute when it's all said and done. I like wrinkles. If you don't like wrinkles, you do you, okay? So because it's not really a super wet base, I've got this area here, or this, I'm able to do this with it, with my thumb. If not, don't do it. If it's wet, don't use your hand like that, because it will pull apart or tear. Just dry it real quick. That will allow it to, it'll just be easier for you to function. It'll be easier for you to do what you need to do. You can also take an X-Acto knife in here and kind of push it into the edges. Now, if you want to cut that all off, you can go for it. Okay, there's our little gnome so far. Isn't he cute? And we're going to come back and paint the outer edge right here, okay? But now I'm going to Mod Podge on my surface coat. Now, if you don't want to do what I'm going to do, which is make a little beard for him out of this white towel, then you could diamond dust him or do something fun like that to his beard. I'm going to be diamond dusting the ears, but I have to do mine in stages. I like to do it in stages. I like to put my Mod Podge on and then come back in, dry it up, and go from there. That way I know it's only going to go where I want it to go. Lots of different drying processes. So take this and your half bead and paint it. Put a little bit of white paint on there. And then while that white's almost dry, come back in with your classic caramel and apple barrel paint. And I painted that up already to make it look a little bit more like a flesh color. Okay, so now I've got that down. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just eyeball his beard. So I'm going to kind of take my scissors and I'm going to, oh, those are bad scissors. Take my scissors and cut out the shape of his beard somewhat. As much as I possibly can, as close as I can get it. Now that I've got one side done, I'm going to fold it in half. His beard is not super long or wide. The project's not wide. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to come here and just use that as my guide, right? To cut it where it's pretty even. So he's a little long. Let's cut him down right here. He's still a little bit long. See how you just trial and error it? Just keep going. And I see how I'm folding it in half. So I have a steady line there. All right, just one more time. And he should be just about set. And then he can get glued down. This can get glued down. You could use a lot of different things for this fuzzy. And don't worry about it, whether or not it continuously stays, if it's exactly the shape of it. It's just the idea of it, ladies. And it might go over the nose a little bit. That's cool. Don't worry about it for now, because we're going to put the nose back on there. Okay? This is not a hard project at all. So now we're going to pop that nose there. And 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 we Get a good piece of glue there. Good amount of glue. And hold that down so that it will go onto the napkin and onto what I just put there for his beard. Okay. Now he's got more of a three-dimensional look on his beard. Then I like to do all of my stuff before I finish with my diamond dust. I've misplaced my flower. Oh, it's right here. So I'm going to put this purple flower on. I like to get all of this stuff done before I put my diamond dust on. That way we are not trying to glue to diamond dust. That makes it a little bit more difficult to do. You can do any flower you want. The flower in here had a button in it. I didn't have a small enough button for it to look right with this other flower I had, so I just went with this. All right, real quick, let's finish up the outside edge with our white chalk paint. That allowed that to get nice and dry. So this coat should come on real good, and this will be the final coat. And it'll cover up all that purple. Now, if you like that purple peeking in, that would be kind of cool. But if this were like a blue or a pink where it matched the project better, you might actually like that too. All right, that's done. A little bit there. If you missed something along the edge, needs just a little bit more. Probably should do this before you put your napkin in, but you know me. I'll do whatever I got to do. All right, get my fingerprint out of there. That's as easy as that. Now that I have that done, I will finish off with my Mod Podge, and I'm going to take a small amount on a smaller brush, and I'm going to Mod Podge just the areas that I want it to hit, okay? And I'm going to go into the middle of the green here on the ears. And the hat. I'm not going to do the rim of the hat. I'm just going to do this fuzzy part, the hair part, or the beanie part, not the rim. And that will be as simple as that. And we're going to diamond dust it. And we're going to just let it sit there for just a real quick second. You could also get these flowers from the Dollar Tree. You could do something like that in place of that. You don't even have to paint that if you don't want to paint that nose. You could have just left it plain like that if you wanted to. Now we're going to take our diamond dust and tap it off. And we have this adorable, cute little gnome project going on here. And if you wanted to finish it off, you could put yourself a ribbon on the top of it. You could go with something a little bit more like a green that would be in the ear. You could go with a white. You could go with a turquoise, like the project has. So let's go up here. And we'll just do a cute little 2-finger bow, which I love to do these bows. I find them extremely simple. You're not going to be able to even follow me very well on this. I don't teach this in this part of the video. Just go to my page and it's pinned at the top. It's a 2-finger bow and you can learn how to do it properly from a great angle. Oh, see, even I have problems with it because sometimes they get slippery. Sometimes it gets a little bit slippery. Oh boy, see? I opened up my big mouth and said, oh, those are really easy to do. Those are so easy to do. Well, not today, I guess, huh? Not today. Cut it down. Oh, slide it off your finger. And just stick it on the front side of this. cut down your tails so that your gnome is visible. And you could do something like that. You could also not do something like that. Hang it, use this, or shelf set it. Put it on a tier tray. Very cute idea. Again, if you're interested in the napkin, there is a link in the description. Thanks and have a great one. Bye now.